the Phenom, Vitor Belfort. And this man needs no introductions, but we will do our best to give him one. A 16-year career in boxing. He has beaten the likes of Fernando Vargas, pronounced Sweet Pete Whitaker, the legendary Julio Cesar Chavez, Gennaro Hernandez, Ricardo Mayorga, and he's been involved in classic battle after battle over the course of his 16-year career. With a record of 39 wins, opposite 6 defeats, 30 wins coming by way of knockout, a 6th division world champion, a Hall of Famer, and the Olympic gold medalist. From East LA, I present to you the legend, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya! Oscar De La Hoya, ladies and gentlemen, and here is the face-off for Oscar De La Hoya and Vitor Belfort, September 11th, live on Triller Fight Club pay-per-view from Staples Center here in Los Angeles. What a moment in combat sports history. Two legends going at it on Saturday, September 11th on a Triller Fight Club pay-per-view. Gentlemen, take your seats. Now, before we hear from the fighters, we have some dignitaries that will take to the podium. First of all, this man is the president of Staples Center, the Microsoft Theater, and LA Live, and I would gather that he is so excited to have Oscar De La Hoya headlining for the second time in the history of Staples Center. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the distinguished Lee Zeidman.
Thank you very much, Ray. And yes, welcome back to Staples Center, where we're very excited to host this historic fight with Triller Fight Club here in Los Angeles on Saturday, September 11th, 2021, with the main event featuring Oscar De La Hoya and Vitor Belfort. Now, Oscar fought here back in June of 2000, the very first fight at Staples Center. We were very incredibly proud of that fight. I'm not going to tell him who I thought won that fight against Sugar Shane Mosley today, but I will tell him later on. And for those of you who do not know, Oscar's statue is right over your left shoulder right there. We dedicated that statue back in December of 2008. And when we heard that there was a possibility of this fight being made, we reached out to Ryan and the Triller Fight Club, and we said this fight needs to take place at Staples Center. We need to close the loop of Oscar fighting here back when we first opened and his first fight back in his comeback tour. So, without ado, I would like to welcome everybody back again to Staples Center, where we anticipate a full capacity crowd. And I did mention to Oscar and Ryan that if this fight didn't take place here, we were going to have to dig up that statue and take it over to Oscar's backyard and plant it back there. Fortunately, they came through with us, and we're very excited. All of us at LA Live and Staples Center and AEG to host this fight. Thank you very much, Ryan and the Triller Fight Club, for bringing this to us. Oscar and Vitor, congratulations, and good luck to both of you moving forward on this.
Lee Zeidman, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the president of Staples Center. Now, Triller Fight Club is a partnership between Triller and Snoop Dogg, consisting of influencers, musical artists, legends, and world-class fighters, spearheaded by a man who I consider to be an innovator when it comes to combat sports. He has had a vision, and he's made it come to fruition. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the co-owner of Triller, the Hollywood super producer, Mr. Ryan Kavanaugh.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having us here at the Staples Center. Welcome all. This is really, really exciting day. I think it's a historic, monumental day for me personally, for us as Triller Fight Club, and I think kind of for all of LA and all boxing fans. Oscar has been a hero to me, legend, redefined the world of boxing. Vitor, redefining the world of MMA. I mean, two of the greats. Whether it's, I mean, I'm not going to rename all of the accomplishments we've just heard 3 times again in a row, but these are people who actually changed the sport and changed it in a way that forever will be ingrained in combat sports. So this fight for us is a first. It's a first, really, of putting these 2 sports together. We've seen a lot of exhibition. We've seen a lot of, okay, I'll call it social influencer. We've been involved in them. We've seen MMA and boxing kind of have a little bit of a dance, but we've never seen a real fight between the MMA and the boxing world. And so this will officially mark the first on the record, real pro bout, where you've got a great in the MMA world, you've got the greatest in the boxing world, where they're going to go head to head. I couldn't be more proud. I've gotten to know Oscar well. I consider him a close friend and what a human being. I'm getting to know Vitor well. Also, what a great human being. And this is it. This is as real as it gets. So, with no further ado, I know you're not here to listen to us, but we're really happy we can help bring this fight to the world. And I think it's going to be something that we'll talk about to our kids' kids. So, thank you.
Ryan Kavanaugh, ladies and gentlemen. Also, Bobby Snardovich as well from Triller is in the house. And also, we have esteemed producer Nigel Lithgow also with us as well. Hello to Nigel. All right, we're going to start off with the fighters. I'll start off with you, Vitor, to my left. When you got the call to sign on the dotted line to fight Oscar De La Hoya on Saturday, September 11th, what went through your mind?
Legacy. First thing came into my mind is legacy. Legacy is something that you live not for only for you, but for the next generation. And I believe, as soon as I heard that, I said, this is the most important fight that I will have in my career. It's fighting, I call him the prophet of boxing. He opened the Red Sea of his sport. I opened the Red Sea of my sport. It's literally colliding. It's going to be a war. Like I said, it's a real fight. We're not here to dance. Both of us, we have history of knockout artists, and we're looking to bring the fight. And this is going to be the fight that we're not looking to sell tickets, we're looking to break records. And Oscar, with all the respect, he's looking not for easy opponents. He's jumping in with the fierce man in MMA history when talking about knockouts.
Well, for you, Oscar, to my right, the golden boy himself, back inside the ring after nearly 13 years. You could have had various opponents, but instead, you decided to take on a guy who's naturally bigger than you in a different world of combat sports. Why did you decide to select Vitor Belfort?
Well, I've always been in challenges all my life. I've been fighting all my life, basically since I was 5 years old. So I've had every challenge in the book. I've fought the very best, from Pacquiao to Mayweather to Hopkins to Julio Cesar Chavez. I wanted a different challenge, a challenge that's going to take my mentality, my training to a whole new level. I'm facing a guy who is a light heavyweight champion of the world, and that to me is a real challenge. The fact that he's a striker, the fact that he has the most knockouts in UFC history, I have to adjust to his style as well. There's one thing about boxers having a different style than UFC fighters, but there's also one thing about UFC fighters having a different style than boxers. We have to adjust, and it's not going to be easy, because I only have 7 weeks left to adjust to that style. So that's a challenge for me, and I've always been one to take on the very best, and Vitor Belfort obviously is considered the very best.
You were very adamant about this fight not being an exhibition. This is a real fight. This is going to count on both of your professional boxing records. Why were you so adamant about making sure this was a real fight, be contested over the course of 8 rounds?
Well, this is not a game. You know, we don't play boxing, we don't play UFC, we don't play MMA. I literally said, look, if we're gonna do this, let's do it for reals. Let's not do this song and dance. Let's not do these exhibitions, you know, that we're tired of. This is the real thing. And you know, the fact that Belfort feels great. I mean, look at him. I feel amazing. I feel literally better than ever. And the fact that we both agree that it's gonna be a real fight, it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I have no shit to talk about Belfort whatsoever. I respect you, brother. Like there's no tomorrow. But I'll tell you one thing, we're gonna kick the shit out of each other. That's one thing for sure. And that's what I'm actually looking forward to. It's, I mean, call me crazy, but I'm looking forward to it, you know? I miss that getting hit. For some strange reason, I miss getting hit. So, I mean, come September 11th, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Vitor, I know you have a lot of respect for Oscar De La Hoya, but I want to read off a quote that you had in an interview regarding Oscar. When it came to the fact that this is going to be a real pro fight, you said, I hope I don't end up killing him, but everything is on the table. I'd like for you to explain those comments.
It's simple. When a Navy SEAL go overseas, he's having joy on what he does. If he doesn't have joy in what he does, he can come back in a coffin. So it's when you step in the ring or in a combat sport, you gotta have fun. Like Oscar said, he wanted to get hit. You won the war. So it's my whole life is being wars, not picking opponents. And when I pick the hardest one. And I do pick the hardest one. Oscar is the best boxer of all time. So I'm coming into the sport that he's mastered. And I learned boxing in a different level because I have to adjust to my fight. Like I said, we have to adjust to each other. Like I said, that's my style. A lion, when he's trying to become another type of style, he loses his prey. So I have to come as a lion, and that's been my whole career. I'm coming as that mentality. If I don't knock him out, I'm losing my family. It's everything's on the line. This is as real as it gets. It's a lot of respect for both of us. But when it comes down to the table, that moment, let's say time is on, we're gonna go after each other. So it's this a generation thing, it's a legacy thing. It's bigger than. It's uniting this both sport in one for all. So the best of both, we united. So I'm looking for it.
Originally, we heard the name of George St. Pierre being thrown around to potentially match up against Oscar De La Hoya. But George, I would have think, is under contract with the UFC and Dana White, and they decided that that was not what they wanted to do. Why do you feel that the UFC doesn't allow their fighters to jump into this realm, which is sort of not competing with them, and allow them to have this opportunity, the one that you currently have on September 11th against Oscar De La Hoya on Triller Fight Club pay-per-view?
Listen, I want to give a shout to Vernon Mead and Lloyd, my agent. So it's athlete has to understand, when you sign a contract, you have to understand what you're signing for. And as a CEO, Dana is smart. He doesn't want to give to something because he knows Triller is a big trap. They know they're doing something big. So I think it's actually smart being a CEO that don't want to be part of this, because actually Triller is doing something totally different. This is disrupt the industry of combat sport. So and I see as a positive, but also athletes have to be careful, because when you sign a contract, you got to know your value, what you're signing for, and what you're in it. So, and now that people wanted to come out, but they have a contract, they cannot leave their contract. So, I see that my word has more power than my signing. But when you go sign, you literally got to see your agency, your team, and see what I'm doing for it. And this is what I want 10 years, 5 years from now. So, I'm very glad that Triller with Ryan, they're disrupting their industry. We open a new ocean. We open the Red Sea. And right now, the ring is here, the Staples Center, in the midst of these two waters on the side. So the two greatest combat athletes are going to go after each other. So I'm so glad I'm in it.
Oscar, as I mentioned, you were so passionate about this being a real fight. I know you've called out Floyd Mayweather. You said you'd love a rematch with him. What are your thoughts on the exhibition that Floyd had with Logan Paul and also some of the other various YouTubers and TikTokers and social media influencers that are partaking in exhibition? Is that harmful for the sport of boxing, in your opinion?
No, look, I mean, anybody who gets in the ring, you have to respect, no matter what. I strongly feel that, look, if Jake Paul or Logan Paul or if there's other YouTubers or if they want to get in the ring, just don't let it be with legends. Don't let it be with. It's like maybe you're not ready for that yet. It becomes a circus. It becomes not real, and obviously I want no part of that. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted this fight to be a real sanctioned fight, because everybody who knows me, I've never been in a boring fight whatsoever. I go out there and fight. I leave it out on the line, and whether Logan Paul fight, unfortunately didn't turn out the way they wanted it to be turned out, but that's not us. We have too much at stake. When I see Belfort, I can see his eyes and I can see how proud he is of his legacy, and I feel that same way too. So I respect that, and that's why I can say with true honesty that yeah, we're gonna fucking beat the shit out of each other. Yes, it's gonna be a lot of fun, but that's what we love doing, and that's what drives us, So I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
Oscar, another driving influence could be potentially the odds came out for this fight, and Vitor Belfort is a slight favorite. Does that surprise you? Does it anger you? Does it upset you that people believe that he's going to beat you on September 11th on Triller Fight Club pay-per-view?
I mean, I would be lying to you if I said that it does surprise me, but it doesn't. It doesn't, because I was thinking I have to figure out his punches. I have to figure out his angles. He's a strong guy, and I have to figure out his style as well. So just as much time that he has to figure me out, I have to figure out him as well. So I can see why he's the favorite. I can see why people, can put me as the underdog. That's fine. I've had a fucking tough life, man. I've had a rough life. But I'll tell you one thing, I'll be in the best shape of my life come September 11th. People see that. People see all that stuff,
Wait a minute, you said you're going to be in the best shape of your life. I mean, you had legendary encounters over the course of your 16-year career. You're telling us today that you're going to come in the best shape of your life, better than all those fights that you've had over the course of your 16-year career.
I'm training smarter. I think that's the difference, When I used to train for everyone, I probably overtrained for most of my fights, because I wanted to make sure that, that last breath that I took in the 12th round was the one that was going to count, It's like, I mean, I would fight so tense and so aggressive, and so now I'm training smarter, just doing everything right, People will be surprised. I never disrespected my sport, but I always disrespected myself, So this time around, it's different. The mentality is different. Everything I do is different. From when I wake up till I go to sleep, it's going to be different. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be the difference.
Vitor, you're the favorite on September 11th on pay-per-view. What are your thoughts on that, knowing that the betting public feels that you are going to defeat the Hall of Famer, the Golden Boy, Oscar de la Hoya?
I think what I'm going to say is going to shock you. The problem of the world today, they look into the odds. I never look to the odds. I make my odds. I make my prediction. I decide what I'm going to eat, what I'm going to drink, and what I'm going to think. All of you guys are here and watching us. You have your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. I don't care what you say. Your subconscious mind is going to dictate what you do. Your habits will follow you. We are habits human beings. It's the success in the little things. So I'm making sure that every day of my life, they ask me, Victor, are you start training? No, I live in training. I have 3 amazing athletes at my house. I create a boutique fitness where I can train with my kids, my son, my wife. So I train every day. I hit the bag every day. So it's muscle memory. You do what you think you do. So if you think in odds and you're not making your own odds, it's a frustration because we are living by other people's opinion. I make my opinion. I make my odds. On September 11, I'm gonna win this fight by knockout because I believe I can. Knocking any man, any weight, any division, step in. I can find a way to put you out. That's my mentality.
So do you feel that you fought as high as heavyweight? You've also fought, you were the light heavyweight champion of the world, fought at 185. Oscar has fought, I think, no more than 160 over the course of his career, that being in the middleweight division. Do you think that your size is going to play a significant factor in the fight on September 11th?
My heart, not my size. The king of the jungle is the lion for a reason. He's the most courageous animal. He can go on the river full of alligators and not scared of alligators. He can by himself. And on that ring, me and him, we're going to be by ourselves. So fighting, it's a real sport. You can play football, you can play basketball, you cannot play boxing, you cannot play combat sport. So in my mind, I can beat any man. And that's how I thought. When I was 18 years old, I fought a guy 370 pounds. I was 185. So it's the bigger they are, easier to fall. So it's about skills. And I know Oscar has a lot of skills, so it's all about the feet. You gotta move your feet on the ring. I know he has more experience than me in the ring, so I gotta match him up. I gotta cut the corners. And I know he's a lefty but he's a right hand, so he has a great jab. So the best jab of boxing. So it's a lot of things in the mid, so it's a fun. And like I said, I'm gonna have joy when I start getting hit. I'm looking for the opening. I'm looking for the moment. And that's what defines combat sport. We're putting the best, I'm fighting with the best of all time. So could not get better than that.
Oscar, how do you combat the size difference on September 11th? He's obviously the biggest man that you've ever fought over the course of your career. Being right now, how do you handle that on September 11th?
It's just being mentally prepared, basically. Obviously, you have to do the physical work and you get the appropriate sparring partners and guys who are heavier, who push you back, the weight. But most importantly, and I have this same mentality that Belfort has, is it's all here. It's all right here in the mind. It's the king of the jungle mentality. There's a reason why. And I strongly feel that he can come with everything. He can come with everything. We have 8 rounds to fight. And the first one who makes a mistake is going to pay for it. And it's going to happen over and over and over again. Whether it's going to be me, whether it's going to be him, we have to be prepared 100% because, it's dangerous for both guys. It really is. It's not just dangerous for me because he's bigger, but it's dangerous for him as well because I have some skill.
Do you feel any extra pride knowing that you are fighting here? This is your backyard. This is the second time you fought here at Staples Center, but do you feel any extra sense of responsibility to defend your home turf here at Staples Center on September 11th?
No, not at all. I'm fighting for myself. I've been through a lot. Man. My life hasn't been easy. It's been a big struggle, I've been fighting for everyone out there all my life. And I love it. I've been fighting for my family. I've been fighting for my mother. I've been fighting for all my fans. But this time around, I'm fighting for myself. And I can't wait to feel that inside the ring come 9/11. The fact that we're also doing it for the Independence Mexican holidays. But I just thought about how we're also doing it for 9/11. It falls on 9/11, It's special. It's a reminder. Let's fight. Let's continue fighting. So yeah, Who am I doing it for? I'm doing it for myself. And that's a reminder to everybody that we must do it for ourselves.
Vitor, round of applause for Oscar de la Hoya. Vitor, you have a whole country behind you. Brazil, you are just, they love you down there. And every time you fight, it is must-see TV, especially down in your own country, Brazil. What has the response been from the Brazilian fans and also those that have watched your career over the course of 21 years?
I'm very proud to be a Brazilian. Actually, I moved here, dropped 8th grade, I come to LA with a dream. And I had plan A only. You know, some routes, I just have to change the routes. But like I said, we don't need visa when we like each other. You know, we don't need like someone because of the skin color. The good thing about cheering and supporting someone, I call the identity. Today we have a big crisis. People living a life they don't live in. They live a life that is not what they live. It's their lifestyle. So one of the best things I had in my life is looking for my children and they look at me and say, Dad, you're different than all of them. I say, why? Because you have the same integrity. When you walk into this house and when you leave this house, you are faithful to your mother, you are faithful to yourselves. You not just don't cheat mama, you don't cheat us. And I said, I teach you my kids is about integrity. So I represent a lot of people from different countries. And that's the good thing about combat sport. You're representing an integrity personal. It's a personal thing. When I'm choosing for someone, I want to know what he likes. What he likes is so that's the problem. When you have a double life, double agent life, you come into identity crisis. And I understand that we all deal with that. But every action that you do today is going to influence you tomorrow. Every action that you take today is going to influence your tomorrow. So I'm representing every country. I'm representing the Brazil, the Americans, the Russians, everyone. Not just me, but Oscar. We're representing not just a country. We represent a state of what we did in the past and what we're about to do in the future. So it's going to be a legacy thing.
What would beating Oscar de la Hoya on September 11th mean to you?
Remember that it's a process. It's not going to be something that, oh, I'm surprised. No, I'm coming to this fight because I know I can. So nothing will surprise me. So when you know what you're capable to do, you just got to see it in your head first. It's seeing, believing, and achieving. So everything you see first, you believe, and then you go and put it to action.
Oscar, have you thought about the emotions you're going to feel like when you make that ring walk and this place is packed at Staples Center and you're making that long walk that you've made so many times over the course of your career after over a decade being away from the ring? Have you sort of had a thought process behind what that is going to feel like? The emotions, the energy, the excitement, the nerves?
No, I mean you can't really feel that until you're there, you know. I know it's going to be different than all my other fights because I was fighting for the wrong reason. Yeah, this one's going to be special. It's going to be one for the ages. Yeah, just walking into this room, I couldn't hold myself and I got stupid emotional, you know. Yeah, it's gonna be different.
Assuming all goes well on September 11th, is this the return of Oscar de la Hoya? I've read comments that you said that 2 fights and then I have no problem fighting Canelo Alvarez.
I will never disrespect the fighter I have in front of me, you know. Never have all my life. No matter who it was, because inside this ring, you never know what's going to happen. You never know. You get knocked out. You get, you lose. Whatever. Plans change. So, yeah. Do I have a plan? A long-term plan? A short-term plan? Yes. It's nice to prepare, but it's never nice to disrespect. So, I'm gonna do what I have to do in order to take myself to that next one. To the next level, and challenge myself, and continue to face the toughest challenges in my life. Yes, do I want to fight Floyd again? Absolutely. Would I want to fight Canelo? Why not? If I get knocked out, I get knocked out. At least it was a fun fight. You know? That's my mentality. I love fighting for the glory is beautiful. The fans, it's beautiful. But when you love it, when you have this like deep respect for it, it's like no matter what happens, you're okay with it, you know?
Now we're going to open it up to questions from the media. If you have questions, by all means, raise your hand. But before we get to questions from the media, I want to say that sitting between these two legends, I love the energy. I love the passion. These two guys don't have to do this on September 11th, but they are doing it and they're risking their overall well-being for the fight fans around the world and to test themselves. Why? Because they are world-class prize fighters. And on September 11th at Staples Center, you will see them test themselves against one another. If we have any questions from the media, by all means, I believe Bernie Balmarzal is around here. Raise your hand if you have questions for Oscar or for Vitor Belfort. I know a lot of you asked questions beforehand, but if not, then we will go ahead. We have a question from the media. If you go ahead, do we have an extra microphone for him? By all means, we do have a question. Let me go ahead and give him the microphone here.
Juan Larena tiene una pregunta. Échale, Juan.
Oscar, buenas tardes. ¿Cuáles son los sentimientos de estar aquí presentando una pelea real, pero a la vez viendo tu estatua ahí? Eres un peleador legendario que decide regresar después de 13 años. ¿Cuál es la sensación de presentar esta pelea frente a tu estatua?
No, pues la sensación es arriesgosa. Yo entiendo que no va a ser fácil, pero el hecho que voy a entrenar, que voy a, pues como dicen, echarle muchas ganas, por primera vez lo voy a hacer para mí mismo, va a ser diferente. Estoy dedicado 100%. No ha habido ninguna pelea en la historia de mi carrera en donde no esté preparado. Yo sé cómo prepararme. Yo sé cómo estar listo para un combate. Pero la diferencia va a ser la preparación inteligente. Eso va a ser la diferencia. Yo voy a estar mejor que nunca y que gane el mejor. Pero, y le digo a Belfort, le digo que no va a ser fácil, ni para él ni para mí. Va a ser fuerte, va a ser fuerte, va a ser una pelea difícil. Se dice que nos vamos a catear, pero bien fuerte, así que nada, llámame loco, llámame lo que sea, pero la verdad que lo extraño mucho.
Muchas gracias.
One more question.
Oscar, Vitor, Marcus Hayes, Fight Up TV. I want to ask you first, Oscar. I want to ask you. You come up and you talk about your history with boxing, your love of boxing. How is it that you can say that you feel like this is for you and that you don't feel like this is for boxing? Do you not feel like this is boxing versus MMA? Do you not feel like it's that type of fight?
No, it's look, it's combat sport, you know. Vitor is defending what he believes in. I'm defending what I believe in. There's been a lot of talk about MMA versus boxing. Anderson Silva just beat Julio Cesar Chavez, you know. I mean, are we 1-1? Are we 2-1? Is this challenge going to continue? What I'm just saying is that this is just a real fight. It's a fight. You know, we're not going to go dance and pity pat each other. This is a real fight. It's not an exhibition. So it doesn't matter where he comes from. It doesn't matter where I come from. I have to adjust to his style because he is a striker. I chose him for a reason. I chose him because he's a striker. He's a fighter. And I have to adjust to that. And he has to adjust to myself as well. So, you know, I believe in just combat sport and fighting. He has the skill. I have the skill. It's gonna be a fun fight.
And Vitor, I'll ask you the same question. Being such a storied UFC veteran that you are, how do you feel coming up on the edges of this fight? Do you feel like you're representing the UFC and all those that love and support MMA?
We are individual. We are representing first yourself, and then you represent others that follow what you like I said, what you represent for. So I see as a combat. For me, when we study combat, like I remember people idolize Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was more as an artist and a martial artist in Hollywood. For me, the badass guy like Oscar de la Hoya, guys that really put on the line, they have record of being a fight, not being a movie. This is not a movie, man. This is a real fight. As real as it gets. You guys talk all the hype. Our job is to go and prepare and do our best. So for me, every fight is an individual fight, and you represent your values and what you train. And in that day, lights goes on, everybody has your picks, they do their betting, they enjoy. Our job is to go there and fight. And this is a combat, so we're representing a lot of things. And we're coming from a different background. But we have the same flame. We want to go out there and perform.
Final question, Vitor. Prediction September 11th. You sticking with the knockout?
Yes.
Knockout for Vitor Belfort. Oscar de la Hoya. Your prediction September 11th.
Knockout.
Both of them predicting knockouts. Oscar de la Hoya, Vitor Belfort, ladies and gentlemen. They will pose off one more time. Triller Fight Club pay-per-view. Both men have exclaimed they will knock each other out. You can check it out at Staples Center. Tickets will be available soon. You can order the pay-per-view on Triller Fight Club pay-per-view. The Golden Boy, the Hall of Famer, the gold medalist, Oscar de la Hoya, against the former UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, the phenom, Vitor Belfort. It all goes down Saturday, September 11th, here at Staples Center in Los Angeles. Triller Fight Club pay-per-view. Looking forward to a historic night of boxing here in Los Angeles.
What's up?
Just jogging all over.
They did some before, but I would hope so, because not everyone went back there, so.
Maybe. Gotta get the ring rust out, see?
I was forgetting how this shit when I first came back. What's up, big dog? I don't know about that sweater, bro. You didn't get the weather memo or what? Oh. Oh shit, they gone. They gone.
No media anymore.
Huh. Who else is here? Oh, Victor. Okay.
una pelea con alguien que no es dentro del box, lo que es la MMA, lo que es la pelea de Pablo? Pues ahora se está usando eso, ¿no? Ya varios tienes que pelear. Es que la atracción también, ¿verdad? La atracción de ellos y la atracción de los... yo creo que la atracción también, lo que les paguen, ¿verdad? Ahí eso es también la atracción, puedes pelear. Pero Oscar no tiene ninguna necesidad, como usted de que Oscar, como él dice que le quiere que... Es una buena dirección. Es una buena diversión y le gusta. Sabe que le gusta que todo hubiera estado ahí. ¿No es un poquito peligroso que ya uno, por decir así, subirse a los 47, 48 años allá? Sí, ya está duro, está duro. Sí, el cuerpo está cansado y para recuperarse está duro.
Dijo Oscar que le da sentimiento cuando está entrenando y usted lo está viendo, que le recuerda como el pasado. ¿Qué es lo que usted siente?
Pues es un muchacho, un hombre que siempre le ha gustado entregarse al boxeo y con una buena preparación da buena pelea. Yo creo que él está muy bien lo que está diciendo, se siente bien, se siente bien.
By the way, PACQUIAOSPENCE, who do you like?
I don't choose.
You don't choose? Okay, you went to visit Oscar. How did he look when you went to visit him?
I yesterday.
Yeah, I know. He told me. He was excited.
He looks great.
He looks in shape. Does he win by knockout?
I don't know about that, but he's looking good. Looking good, yeah.
He said 2 fights and possibly Canelo. What would you think of him taking on Canelo?
Oh, maybe only once with this guy, and that's it.
And then Canelo.
Pero ¿qué piensa usted que él es un reto a Canelo? ¿Cómo ve usted eso? ¿Cómo ve usted? Usted que es un hombre de box, tantos años, tanta experiencia, tantas peleas que miró, él le tira un reto a Canelo. ¿Cómo ve usted eso? No. Canelo está joven, está fuerte. Lo hubiera agarrado cuando le peleó a los otros. Entonces yo hubiera escogido a Oscar en vez de Canelo. Porque Canelo no era lo que es ahora. ¿Sí? Está subiendo Canelo.
What about the Floyd rematch? You mentioned that. Him and Floyd, number 2.
No.
You don't like that?
No.
¿Piensa que Canelo es el mejor libra por libra ahorita?
No es el mejor libra por libra. Está llegando a eso. ¿Okay? Hay muchos boxeadores más mejores que él. ¿Okay? Pero se tiene que enfrentar para probar eso.
¿Quién es el libra por libra ahorita?
Hay varios, no los quiero nombrar, pero hay varios boxeadores buenos. El día que yo vea a un boxeador que a mí me gusta, hasta le voy a apostar en contra de Canelo. ¿Sí? Porque él está chaparrito, está igual que yo. ¿Okay? Y está ya, como Durán, cuando era Durán, ¿se acuerda de Durán? Cuando peleaba casi heavyweight. Eso no está bien. Sí, los duros, los trancados duros están ahí. Y Canelo no tiene la solidez de un peso grande, de un peso 54 centros, ¿verdad?
¿No piensas que algunas personas dicen que Canelo es el mejor mexicano peleador o boxeador?
Todavía no. Ha habido muchos. Entre ellos Julio. Ha habido muchos, ¿sabes? Pero entre ellos todavía no. No se cuenta. Tal vez cuando se retire se puede decir algo. ¿Okay? Ahorita le falta unos 2, 3 años. Ya cuando lleguen los trancazos más duros, entonces ya va a decir, ay, canijo, está duro todo esto. ¿Sí?
¿Si llega a ser el campeón indiscutible en la 68, Canelo?
Yo creo que va a estar duro. Va a estar duro para que se conserve allí, porque los peleadores de esos de 168 son duros. ¿Sí? Cuando se enfrente a esos morenos, hay unos morenos que están duros. Yo no digo de quién, pero están duros. ¿Sí? Y Canelo también le entra los golpes.
Esa es una de las cosas que dijo Crawford, es que Canelo le estaba dando la vuelta a los afroamericanos. ¿Usted está de acuerdo con eso?
El dinero está, él quiere hacer dinero, el dinero. Es lo importante para la carrera de boxeador, el dinero.
Que en su mente, ¿quién es el mejor afroamericano ahorita? Hay Terence Crawford, lo Charles acaba de pelear, excuse me.
Hay varios. Tendría que yo los tengo en la lista.
Ajá.
Tengo que
encontrar
cada uno, sí, pero yo sé que Canelo no se encuentra entre los mejores.
Me da un pronóstico sobre la pelea entre Aspirations y Manny Pacquiao.
No, pues el Pacquiao ya se va. Ya está grande, el otro está nuevo. Ahí vas a ver lo que es que le peguen también al Pacquiao.
Sí, pero
si el Manuel lo noqueó feo y todos le pegaban. Ese tema está duro.
Pero su descanso de 2 años y la actuación que tuvo con Thurman no enseña que todavía tiene la habilidad para competir o ganarle a un
Sí,
Spence.
no más competir, como le digo, el dinero. El dinero habla. Sí.
Por último, ¿cómo ve esa pelea? ¿Cómo va a pasar? ¿Pelea dura? ¿Pelea...?
Es dura, pero el otro lo va a ganar de edición. Sí. Edición. Pacquiao no tiene con qué bloquear.
Gracias, doctor.
Gracias. It was good. Tall as fuck, bro.
So what did he say really quick? What was he saying about Canelo and all that?
Canelo, he said, hey, bro, you're on my life too.
Okay.
He said that Canelo, no, he's not the best pound for pound right now. That there are black fighters that are better than him right now.
I think Canelo's pound for pound, okay. But
I
Okay.
agree with you, but
Who do you think, Canadian?
he didn't say any names. They asked him about Terrence and Spence. He said he's not really sure who. He'd have to kind of look and see who it was.
And then they asked him about Pacquiao. What did he say?
That he's older and that Spence should win. He's younger, but it's not going to be easy. But that he has Spence by decision.
I'm surprised he didn't have Canelo's pound for pound, but he doesn't like the fight of his son and Canelo. He doesn't think it
He doesn't like that fight. He doesn't. He thinks what was it? That it's just that if Canelo was 140, when Canelo was 147, and Oscar was 147, he would pick his son. But now Canelo's like he's young. He's kind of in his prime, and so yeah.
So there you have it. So he doesn't think Canelo's pound for pound. He thinks it's somebody else, but he didn't give a name.
Right. Yeah.
There you have it. Thanks so much for the translation. We appreciate
Sir.
it. There you have it.
Well, this shading will work right here. This shade and this internet. Gee. Hot mic, everybody. Oh, everyone heard. Hot mic, Kim. You're a hot mic vet. Yeah, you're a hot mic vet. You know what it is. Oh shit! I need to plug in. How much juice do you got, Kim?
This is 26%.
I have a 0%. Is there another one of those things out
Set up and we'll switch up.
Huh?
Set up and we'll switch up. I came prepared. My laptop is nice and charged.
Oh,
But Marco's is
I don't feel so bad. But yeah, just let me know when you need to switch back or you're gonna post or whatever.
I'm gonna give it 5 minutes.
Make sure, because I think when it hits 10, it just
I'm not gonna let it hit 10.
Yeah, I told her to let me know and then we'll switch out. Yeah. Alright, my peeps, I'm gonna log out so I can work, but there you go, Hoya versus Vitor Belfort, happening September 11th, Staples Center, Los Angeles. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, appreciate you guys watching. I really need some help. But thank you guys for watching, appreciate it. You're a fight fan, Kim?
Yeah. I know more UFC than I do boxing.
Oh,
You're a gangster.
Huh?
I said you're a gangster.
What was that?
You're a gangster?
Yeah, I love fighting myself. Just put someone in front of me.
There you go.
I do martial arts.
We'll have some media room spar days one day.
Media room brawl.
Media room brawls. We'll get you in there.
I'd be down. I'd be down for sure. That'd be fun.
All the people that put their camera in front of me,
Yeah.
I want them.
Yeah.
How's your first, bro?
It was over right when the heat just started getting pretty
A little much.
annoying. Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. That's a pretty nice number.
Excellent. Yeah, send me some good face-off ones.
That one, and then face off.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, I'm gonna post it. On your spot. Who is that pretty girl? Is that his daughter?
No, she's like she's with the shoulder band. I don't know. He brings her around and stuff. She's pretty cool. Appreciate you guys watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.
That's Oscar's father? Huh? Look at that, was that a photo?
Vitor is like a shitload bigger than Oscar Like, I was like, damn, bro.
I'd be scared. I'd be scared.
And it was funny because, like, as I was asking Oscar De La Hoya my first question, I kind of remembered. I'm like, oh, that's right. Vitor was the youngest heavyweight champion, right, in UFC history.
I don't know stats.
Yeah, I want to say he was like the youngest one. This was like,
Yeah,
UFC 17 or 15 or some shit like that. And yeah, like he. And as I said it, I was like, shit, you campaigned at 147. Like, what the hell are you thinking? This dude's huge.
Wait,
You guys have killed the power, huh?
Oh.
We were still running music. I thought somebody inside killed the power.
Oh, bad, man. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, that was us. That was all of it. Yeah. It's okay, guys. I was only running for 10 minutes. I was on minute 5, so Just play out.
Oh man, yeah. Do you need it back or?
No, you're okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry, man.
Next time I just go double check.
Yeah. I came. It was undone already, but I just assumed it was okay. See, I took the heat off you, Kim.
You're welcome. Thank you. Things happen for a reason.
Yeah, see, hey, there you go.
Things, karma, when you're kind.
You know, yeah, it comes back and people are coming back. That'll work.
He was nice though.
He was real cool about it. He said, I was wondering what happened. Poor guy.
My shit broke.
I know. What happened? What can explain this problem?
How much juice do you have?
I'm at 10. Do you need it?
I'm at 12.
Go ahead and switch it out.
Really? Sure.
Oscar de la Hoya's dad is kind of on that hating on Canelo trip too.
Can I switch?
Yes, go ahead. Yeah, you just unplug. You can just unplug me. Right there, yeah. And I left that. Yeah, yours. I normally do, but I went to the gym and just kind of focused on the gym. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. I usually do.
That's 3 times.
Eso no está bien. Sí, los duros, los mercados duros están ahí en esos pesos. El Canelo no tiene la solidez de un peso grande, de un peso 54 centos. Solo piensas que algunas personas dicen que Canelo es el mejor mexicano peleador por boxeador. Todavía ha habido muchos, entre ellos Julio. Porque esta boxeador que a mí me gusta, varias, no eso.
Still knowing.
They cut the power.
Oh, they just cut it?
Holy shit.
It's not charging anymore?
It's charging now, but it was exporting.
Oh, and it just shut down?
What do I do?
What's happening?
It's not. It's not charging.
It's not taking the charge? Oh, it's like maybe they unplugged the extension cord from in there.
I think they unplugged the.
Did you try this one too?
But it wasn't. I think it's like.
No, it's charging. Just you lost Wi-Fi.
What's Oscar's dad's name?
Hoya.
I wish I have my plug, but it doesn't have USB-C. My battery out of that, the green mount battery pack.
Oh, you want to plug your battery on your laptop?
Yeah.
Was it like
The Mac is USB-C to USB-C.
Oh, it would be USB-C.
But my battery
So
pack
guys, this
is
cable is actually ours because I own and we'll pack it up. So you guys okay with the
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, you got to, yeah.
Is there any way we could keep on there for a little bit? Like maybe like 10, 15 minutes because we're on deadline. We're on news media and we're like uploading something real quick. It would really help us out a lot.
I'll check with my boss.
Okay, I appreciate that.
It's not me, so
Any,
we'll check with
yeah,
him.
any extra time we can get on that.
It's like the last thing you pack or something.
I'm gonna move transfer over to mine and then
That'll work out too. That's the whole price, right?
Yep.
So this guy didn't show up. I thought they had said that. I wonder if they're sitting up at the top, right? Once the Staples clears all this, I'll.
He's plugging it back.
Go in and plug in,
No,
right?
I just talked to my
Oh,
boss.
thank you.
I just told him to plug it back
Oh,
in.
thank you. I appreciate
Okay.
it.
Just so you guys know, this wasn't for you guys. This was for me.
Right,
and my boss.
yeah.
So, is it room for me or no?
Huh? I think, I mean, I don't know if there's seats. I don't know if you want to come in. But I'm going to be just right here against the wall just so I can plug in this thing.
Okay,
So I would say, I mean, it's up to you.
no, I'll chill out here.
Yeah, I was going to say probably better on the seat. All right, peeps, I'm going to go in and do this thing, so appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Everything is okay.